Are you an audio engineer, animator, or just a sound effects enthusiast who wishes they had more boner sound effects in their collection? Well, you're in luck with the new 1,000 Sounds Boner Collection. We've got the chubby, the little prick, the chode, the crazy ejaculator, the boner entering bullet time, the boner that takes a few seconds to struggle out of pants, the my first boner, the musical boner, the just can't get it started boner, the whipped out in public, the Rube Goldberg, the fish boner, the robot boner, the human boner that for some reason sounds like a bunch of kittens boner, and the Kevin. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Order the Boner Collection today and we'll throw in the giant cartoon booby collection for free.
Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh boy.
Seahorses forever.
Hey, everybody. I don't know. Same old, same old. Every time I come back on, it's, yeah, we haven't seen you in a while, so we should have a lot to talk about. And then we never do. We never do. But I think we should this time. Whenever I have this guy on the show, it's usually more controversial, as you were saying about other stuff before. But, I mean, you know, this is where I can, because me and Norm and I, we differ on some of this stuff, so I really can't talk about it. But me and you can. So, and that's okay. I think that's okay. And I think I'm mature enough to, realize that not everyone agrees on politics, and that's okay. But other people don't see that. What I think is right, what you think is wrong, and we're going to fight about it. But anyway, so we'll talk about, obviously, that, and me hating people like always, and, frustrations, and sadness. So it should be a fun show. So all that and more coming up on the Weekly Egg. It starts right now. It is the Weekly Act for, what is today? Thursday, November 9th, 2017. I'm Mac, and Dustin Weems back in the house. I think you're on. Are you on?
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Oh, man, I was being quiet. I didn't think I was on yet.
Sometimes I forget to bring the guest in because I'm the most important person talking, so I was like.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was what was going on. So I was just like,
only the opening is when I talk.
Okay.
That's my alone time, and no, you're free to talk now. Actually, it's all you.
All right.
I'm going to go.
Thanks for using my slave name, by the way.
That's your slave name?
Yeah. I'm going by kthanx now.
Okay, yeah. How many names is Puffy going to have? Can we we're not allowed to call him any of those names.
No.
We have to pretend they didn't exist. What is he, Love Daddy?
Is it now?
Daddy Love? I
try not to pay attention to him anymore.
Love Bro? It's something with love.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, so it's like, and people were calling him on it. It's really just to stay relevant. I haven't thought of P. Diddy or whatever he was, the artist formerly known as P. Diddy.
Yeah, he was in the audience for the 25th anniversary of Def Comedy Jam. But that's the last time that's the first time I've seen him in years.
That's a perfect place for him because he is a comedian.
Oh
no. if you're talking about his music,
right? You're talking about his lyricism.
But yeah, he's Love something, Brother Love or something now. I don't know.
I did not know that.
I don't know. At least he could have made himself a symbol like Prince did.
Yeah,
that symbol, the artist formerly known as Prince, but it was just that. This is what I am. This symbol.
Did you ever hear the story behind that or whatever? No. Like, so newspapers, magazines still needed a report on him.
They had to mention him in print.
Yeah. So how do you get that symbol on your computer or in your in your type or whatever.
Whatever it was back then.
He sent out hard disks. Well, I guess they're called floppy disks.
Floppy disk, yeah. Even though they're not floppy.
Back in my day, they were called hard disks. That shows you how old I am.
You're even older than I am.
Because we did have bigger disks that were actually floppy.
Right, the real thin, huge ones, like a plate. Almost like the size of a plate, yeah.
And they were floppy. They lived up to their name.
Right.
But anyway, the new floppy disk.
Like
anyway,
your dick.
He sent that out to all the major publications with just that symbol on it.
Really?
I want to get a hold of one of those. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Just like the floppy disk with that symbol on it?
Yeah, so they could use it in the newspaper or whatever.
Wow. Well, that's nice of him. I mean,
right?
It's kind of douchey to just make your name a symbol, but at least he gave him a way to...
I forget why he did that. It was some kind of dispute with his record company. He couldn't make music under name Prince.
Uh-huh.
So he had to go with that symbol until that was resolved.
You want me to look it up, or do you want to just speculate? It's more fun to just pretend like we know.
Who cares?
He can go by whatever he wants now.
Right? He's definitely the artist formerly known as Prince now.
Oh,
Zing.
Too soon.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Well, yeah, it's just a joke. Yeah. People are... We can talk about that. People taking things too seriously nowadays.
Oh.
I mean, like I think we're both left-leaning. I don't think anyone can be completely one side or the other. I think that's impossible.
I'm over here nodding my head like anybody can see me. But yes,
right?
Yes.
It's a staunch anything. I don't think unless you're lying. I think you're lying if you say that you're all the way Republican or even Democrat. But because typically it's real echoey in here. I don't know what's going on. Is my equipment not working?
It's bouncing off all my muscles.
Oh, I was gonna make another dick joke there. Is my equipment working? Talking to the mic. They can't see that either. So I was gesturing to my dick.
Pointed to his penis.
My penis hole, actually.
Whoa.
No, but traditionally, I think that the left are the ones that are offended by everything. They want to make everything, and that's one thing I don't agree with them. I'm like, man, but it's funny because like conservatives, they do get offended as well,
right?
If it's against them. I think everyone's too sensitive, but the conservatives like to say it's the liberals that are too sensitive.
The snowflakes.
Yeah, the snowflakes. But so are they. If it's something they don't like, then they don't, But yeah, you can't say anything, and it's not. I mean, it's different if it's just a sexist jerk who just doesn't know anything.
Right.
But when it's handcrafted with the right language and, time, and you say it and, timing too is, the thing. What's the secret to success? Timing. That's an old joke, but still a winner. But yeah, it's just, I've even heard, and I'm not, you're more of a comedian than I am. I'm not saying that I am, but I'm like a student of it. I like to hear about, there's a really good documentary. I'm going to go off on a million tangents, but there's a really good documentary on Hulu about the Dana Carvey show.
Really?
Too Funny to Fail, the life and death of the Dana Carvey. It was only on 7 episodes.
Wow.
But it had, do you remember that show? I remember watching it.
Wasn't it on Fox?
It was on, no? That's one of the reasons it was on ABC.
Oh, okay.
And it was it was primetime sketch, but it was still, even Saturday Night Live was way tamer than this, and that was on at 11:30.
Wow.
And this was just, but do you know who, have you heard that? It was, Dana Carvey, it was his show. Steve Carell was on it, Stephen Colbert. Robert Smigel was the writer. Louis C.K. was the head writer.
Wow.
This other guy that used to work on Conan a long time, I can't remember. It's like Dino something Greek. Papa Snuffleupagus. No, that's not his name. And I can't remember some of the other ones. But just that, by itself. And there's one sketch that they show, and it was not going to work at 8:30 on ABC.
Yeah.
There's just, Fox on a Saturday night, like Mad TV, that slot would have been perfect. Because the first episode, the opening of it was Bill Clinton had gone through hormone. He was taking estrogen,
oh, really?
And he developed teats, but not just teats, like a dog, 6 up and down. And he's it was back when people were. He was fighting with Hillary, so he's locked Hillary out of the White House. And he's like, look, I can be both Bill and Hillary. And so he opens and he just teats. Oh, no. And he's they're bringing babies in and little baby animals and stuff. And this is on ABC on a Tuesday night at 8:30 after Home Improvement. Yeah, right. So
How did I miss that, man? I remember the name of the show, but I don't remember seeing anything for it. Or
And Stephen Colbert's like, I forget. He goes, and they put us on in prime time on ABC, and he's like,
wow,
what a mistake. He whispers it, laughing. He's like, "This just, of course it's gonna be bad. It's ABC." And then it was funny. Like right before, like a month before it was going to go on, that's right when Disney purchased ABC.
Oh wow!
So they're like,
they didn't axe it
fuck.
right then and there.
Well, nothing had come on yet. It was like a mid-season replacement.
Oh wow!
So nobody had seen it. It came on in like March. 7 episodes, done. That was it. But man, it's funny. There's one of the sketches that really made me laugh was Germans who say nice things. That's just a lot of it was just like telling you what the joke is, and here's the joke. Like it's not yet, but it was Carell and Dana Carvey in like German accents, and they're just saying nice things, but because Germans are loud and it's like it was a pleasure babysitting Kevin. Like just saying these things, and it goes back and forth. You're not getting older, you're getting better. I heard my voice. But it's just really hilarious. Just all these nice things but said in a really angry German accent.
Nice. It's amazing. ABC used to have it going on. I remember they had Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher on there,
right,
for a while until September 11th.
Oh, that is when he got.
Yeah, he made a joke, or he said something about it that was controversial. And going back
What's
to what you said
the name
earlier,
of the show?
Yeah,
Politically.
Going back to what you said earlier, everybody got butthurt over it, and he made a good point.
It's kind of like when I think I talked about this on one of the shows I did by myself, which is what I call when I masturbate. And I don't mean this show. I mean I talk to myself when I do that.
Noise.
Can I just say the N-word? Because should I say the N-word or should I say the word
Are
on
you
here?
quoting him? Quote him.
Yeah, he said he had that. I'm just gonna say the N-word. I don't care. No,
you've been waiting for this your whole life.
I know, right? Somehow I'm gonna get somehow Jesse Jackson's gonna hear this. This one show I do.
Al Sharpton's gonna come busting through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, right. With just no, he's just gonna come through the window. I feel like with like on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation at the end where they just all remember the SWAT team coming in. I'm all over the place tonight. I'm sorry, but no, it was the end of one of Real Time. What's the name of the show?
Oh yeah, man, I think it's Real Time.
Real Time with Bill Maher, and he had a senator on that told him, you come up to Nebraska and you can work in the fields, and it was like really weird. Like even that sounded weird that the senator would say that, and everyone was kind of laughing a little bit because it sounded like it was like a slave joke that he was saying, even though Bill Maher's white. But it was still weird. It was like out of place. And then Maher, after people kind of stopped murmuring, he was like, "Senator, please, I'm a house nigger." Yeah. And there was some laughing and some were like, "Oh," but it's live and it's HBO. And
right.
I mean, he was. I feel like the senator was I don't know,
setting them up.
Yeah. And so they were like. Everyone came out of the woodwork, like all these liberal and Democrat people. But I'm like, Bill Maher's on your side here. Why are you? He's one of the biggest voices for your side.
Don't crucify him.
Yeah, fire him and all this stuff. And I'm like, he's the. I mean,
he gets a lot of heat for the stuff he says about Arabs too, or Muslims.
Really?
Yeah, he's staunch. Well, he's staunch anti-religion to begin with.
Right. So
he makes fun of. A lot by saying Islam's not the religion of peace because these fools are blowing people up.
Yeah,
so I don't. But he gets a lot of flack for that. Like a lot of people from the left don't like him just because of that. And I'm like, he's anti-religion across the spectrum. He's not just picking on.
Right. He was just happened to be commenting on Islam.
Yeah.
But he'll do it about
that.
He'll do yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, it is. I mean, there is. I mean, I know there is. The peaceful part of it, but nobody hears about that. Right. It's almost like, the truth is not as important as the perception of the truth.
Yes.
And that's what makes news and noise is the radical ones. I mean, but I think you still need to know that that's not all of them.
Right.
Like you can't, I understand people that are afraid or they're cautious or don't like it. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I don't put them all in that.
Yeah. You can't put them all in the same basket.
Yeah. But, and then I'm not that religious either, but I just kind of, as long as your religion's not hurting anybody,
yeah,
So the radical Islam is out. I don't.
Yeah.
That's not good. But as long as you're not killing babies, well, maybe a couple babies.
Depends what's,
Yeah, maybe Chinese babies. That's okay.
That's euthanasia, right?
Right? Is that too far? Why am I getting in trouble for that? I just picked Chinese because it was, I don't know.
Because they got like 1 billion of them.
Yeah, they can. And speaking of China, that's where Trump is right now.
Yeah. Just left Japan, went to China.
I was watching. Well, I don't watch anything anymore. I just get sound bites like we all do. I don't sit down and watch anything. I don't. I'm not somebody that just reads a headline and doesn't read the article. But I think it was a Daily Show that said Trump really should just do this thing where he stops talking a sentence before. So like he was in China and he said, your economy is one of the best in the world. And then he was like, not as great as ours though, never will be. And then he gives him the thumbs up, and I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah, that's a pretty good impression, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
it's just a real douchey. I just channel my inner douchiness.
I like it.
What is his word? Is it
Bigly?
biggest? Is everything the biggest, or is it fantastic? What does he say? There's
Huge.
Huge. That's it. No, it's huge. It's huge. Our economy is huge. Your economy is huge, not as huge as ours. My hands are huge. They're not small. Remember that whole hand thing?
Yes.
I don't. I think people are coming around though. Did you see the election results?
Yeah.
A lot of Democrats.
Yeah.
Kind of. And I'm not saying it should all be Democrats. I just think we need a good balance on each side. I mean, a lot of Republicans think Trump is what's a good word? I want to use the perfect word, just a lunatic.
Yeah.
Like
the only ones that can say it though are the ones that aren't out for re-election. I wish other ones would roll some cojones and speak out with, because
like the way what Flake did, he kind of flaked. Are you saying like how they just give up and go away and don't try to say anything? Or
yeah, they're like the majority of Republicans that are speaking out against him aren't up for re-election. They're not scared of losing an election.
They have nothing to lose. Yeah.
But the ones that are up for election are toeing the line and not speaking out when they should be.
Right.
Not
really endorsing him, but at the same time not denouncing him either.
Right.
Because they still need. Yeah. I don't know. I wish politics was more. I mean, it was never everyone working together in peace and harmony. I know that, but it's not anything anymore. It's just completely divided. Nobody, and that's how we are too. Like even if you're not being political, just anything that's your opinion. Nobody can hear what you're saying.
You need some more open minds up in these.
Or even just an actual debate where you're not just yelling over the other person.
Right.
Like not a Fox News debate where they just yell, or Sean Hannity just yells over. I don't know why anybody goes on his show.
For real.
I mean, why would you even?
Unless you think you can take him. I'm going to take this guy.
Right.
But he's the host, so he has all the power.
Well, yeah, he can like mute you, or he can kick you off, and it's not even always like the liberals. Are like there's even people that are like on his side.
For real.
If he does, if it's not exactly what he thinks, he'll,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't want to get too into politics. I mean, it's gonna just devolve into just politics. But let's do one more. Let's talk one more political thing, and we'll talk about other stuff. All right. I guess you don't have anything. I guess I will talk about my life. So another shooting.
Yes.
In a church in Texas.
Right.
In Something Springs, Texas.
Sulphur Springs, I believe.
Well, no, it's not Sulphur Springs. That's closer to here. This is like down like west of San Antonio.
Yeah, that's what.
Something Spring. Well, no, Sulphur Springs isn't that far. I thought Sulphur Springs was actually near Tyler or something.
Yeah, no telling.
Well, anyway, get away. I'm going to kick Bingo in the face.
Now you calling me Bingo.
I know. That's you. That's my pet name for you. But like
26 dead, was it?
Yeah. I don't like why like what do we do? Yeah. Nothing? So just nothing. Like it's just they say I know a lot of people don't like a lot of the late night hosts are kind of liberals and Trevor Noah and Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers and all them. But it's like I forget which one of them said it, but they're like if this isn't the time to talk about it, then when is?
Right.
So, I mean, you're not going to talk about when it's not happening. Maybe you should. But, I mean, why? I don't. To me, I don't. It is a political issue, but it's not. It's more of a,
it's a health.
Yeah. I mean, why shouldn't you talk about when there's a mass shooting? Why can't you talk about, like...
If anything else was killing this many Americans, we would be talking about it. We would be addressing it. If it would be, I don't know, tobacco or if anything was killing.
Well, I read, like, they analyzed the number of vehicular deaths. Then they said, okay, seatbelts are mandatory.
And that brought it down, right?
And it brought, but people only... I think I made this point like a couple shows ago or something, or even with even with Norm. Like, it's not. It's okay if it's gradual. I mean, there's no magic bullet to just end it. I mean, nothing is. People that love guns will just say, "Well, that's not going to end all gun deaths." I'm like, "Well, of course not. Of course not. Who says it won't? I mean, of course it won't. I mean, people still die in cars." Colbert made a really simple metaphor where he's like, if you live in a village and your people keep getting killed by a tiger, you either move the village or kill the tiger.
Yeah.
You don't just say, well, that's just that's how it is. I guess we just have to live with it. Why is gun? I mean, I know why, because this is culture. It's just the way. I mean, I've never. It's almost like nature versus, or it's like nurture. It's like I've never, other people in my family have guns, but like my mom and dad, and we never had guns. Like I don't feel a need for, and then now, of course, the NRA, it loves, this is almost like, just call this real time 2, real time junior, because this is really all liberal stuff. I'm sorry. But, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, come on. Can't we admit that it's like, something's wrong? Like, it can't just be, well, that's how it is.
Personally, I
don't
like
want
to
to
think.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't want to take everybody's guns. I don't think that's the right call. Like, you should, if you want them, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's, I don't know. I'm going to repeat the same thing I've been saying, but what were you going to say?
I like to think, anyway, that presented with facts, I could change my mind. And there's a lot of facts that show that throwing
alternative
more
facts.
Guns, yeah, right.
Yeah,
that throwing more guns at the gun situation isn't a good thing. Like there was a big Stanford research paper that came out that looked at right to carry states and their crime rates. Well, if you have the right to carry, the right is saying that the crime rate should go down because so many people are carrying. That's not the case. And I think it's just a psychological thing. You see a gun on somebody, it just escalates the situation automatically. You never know who's the good guy with the gun, who's the bad guy with the gun. And
that's the only way to stop somebody with a gun. Either somebody's good or bad. I can't remember how it goes.
Oh, I was so mad about this damn church shooting because there was a guy that...
That's what I was going to say before we got into the NRA. I was going to say the NRA is loving that they have a hero here.
Yes.
And he had a gun. But the guy died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, too.
Yeah, who say he stopped any killing because the guy was already leaving, going somewhere else.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was saying. He it's not like he stopped anything. I mean, the guy was saying, the hero was saying that, well, he stopped him from doing it again. But I think he was probably going to go kill himself.
Right.
I think that was
yeah.
But I know. But the NRA is this hero. The sheriff is like a hero.
They're going to cling to that from now on.
Yeah.
Just like that damn Luby's video always comes up when these things happen. One of the survivors from Luby's was mad because she wasn't allowed to carry a gun in the restaurant. And she thought she could have stopped the massacre. And she testified before Congress. So they're always playing that. But studies show that I don't think it's very, 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 very rare for armed person to stop.
Right.
In most cases, you'll throw off the cops, you'll confuse them, or
well, and it's also luck being at the right place.
Yeah.
Whenever you ever, I mean, not even with guns, but other times, man, if I would have been there, like
one case, this guy tried to stop a carjacking and ended up shooting the victim, killed the victim.
But people are like, "Nah, I'm sorry, I choose not to hear what you're saying."
Right.
And they had to. I mean, and what were they going to do? Were they going to kill him when they chased him like a 95-mile-an-hour car chase?
Right.
And he went off in a ditch. Like, what were they going to do? Like, that's like why take the law? It's like taking the law into your own hands. I would say don't do that.
Vigilante, yeah.
If they caught him, were they going to go get him out of his? And he had a gun with a chainsaw on it.
Jesus.
What is the deal with that? What's the deal with? Why are people so upset? Like, is it because the U.S. You know what I'm talking about? That video where it showed the possible modifications. People are so upset about this.
I've seen a bunch of memes about it.
That they put the memes are hilarious.
Yeah.
One of them's got Chuck Norris on the end of it. One of them's got the Death Star.
I've seen one that was just another gun and another gun, another gun, another gun all attached to it.
Yeah. One of them is like the Death Star. One's a lightsaber and all this. But like they really latched onto that chainsaw thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, why is that, like, yeah, it seemed, I guess they were being, USA Today was being serious, but people were, maybe pro-gun people thought that was irresponsible. I mean, and then, because you can apparently do that, but people don't like that reasoning for that. That's not good enough. Just because it's real. Like, I saw somebody on Facebook saying, they were annoyed about that video and how, you know, and he's like, before you say it's real, I don't remember what else he said because I just quit reading it. But, and then I read another article because I was trying to figure out why people are so upset. Like, why are they so angry? And like, man, USA Today just ruined their, you know,
credibility or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm like, because I guess maybe the big part was that it looked like they were saying that the guy had a chainsaw on the end of this Ruger, this assault rifle. But it said possible modifications. But I don't know. Like, I don't know why people are so upset.
If anything, it should show you that thoughts and prayers don't work.
Right.
That building was full of, probably not thoughts, but full of prayers.
Yeah.
And we still got 26 of them.
I mean, that's all you're allowed. That's the politically correct thing. You just have to say thoughts and prayers. You can't talk about any real solutions to not have this.
For real.
But people, that's the frustrating thing is that people are like, there's nothing we can do. And then also, because you were talking a lot about stats, people just won't believe stats. They're just like, no, that's
they'll believe anecdotal I can't even say it.
Evidence.
Yeah,
anecdotal evidence. Well, freaking Newt Gingrich, like a year ago, or I think it was during the election, where he was talking about Chicago or something.
Oh,
or was it Chicago?
That's their favorite.
He was saying something, but the reporter was saying, like, no, like the statistics from, you know, I don't even remember, it was from the FBI or whatever. It says that it's so bad when you try to quote something. I sound like a politician or something. But he was just like, well, no, that's not what I believe. But he's like, Mr. Speaker, that's the fact. Well,
you're entitled to your own opinion, not your own facts.
Yeah.
Bitch.
But it was so weird because he just said, well, that's not what people believe. That's not what I believe.
Wow.
But she's like, no, it's statistically that's not. I think he was talking about Chicago. People, I'm going to find it. You talk while I'm doing this.
They always love to bring up Chicago. If gun laws work,
Right.
Chicago has the toughest gun laws. How come there's so many deaths there? Well, Chicago's not an island, okay?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that can get guns from other places, bring them in.
Well, that's always the reasoning for not having stricter gun laws, because they're like, well, they'll just get it from somewhere else.
It's amazing to me.
So just do nothing.
Right.
That's
America is an anomaly when it comes to gun control and health care.
right.
Laws regarding both can work everywhere in the world, but they'll never work here.
Because we're so unique.
Yes.
That's what they always say.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how it is here.
American
it wouldn't work.
exceptionalism.
Yeah.
Oof.
Let's see. What did old Newt say?
Such a weird name.
Newt. He is slimy.
And how
For
are they
politics.
still the party of family values? Newt Gingrich is a perfect example of that. He had an affair with.
Yeah.
He was married. Adultery is like one of the top 10 commandments. But they're the party of family values because the Democrats kill babies.
Right. But
Violent crime is down. The economy is ticking up.
It is not down
The
in
economy.
the biggest cities.
Violent crime murder rate is down.
Then how
down.
come it's up in Chicago, up in Baltimore, and
There
up in
are
Washington?
pockets where certainly we have not tackled
your national
murder
capital, your third biggest city.
But violent crime across the country is down.
The average American, I will bet you this morning, does not think crime is down, does not think they are safer.
But it is. We are safer, and it is down.
No, that's your view.
Those are facts.
I just told no.
These are the national
but what I
FBI
said,
facts,
but what I said is also
statistics.
no. What I said is also a fact. Current view is that liberals have a whole set of statistics which theoretically may be right, but it's not where human beings are.
But what you're saying
Yeah,
is,
but-
but hold on, Mr. Speaker, because you're saying liberals use these numbers, they use this sort of magic math. This is the FBI statistics. They're not a liberal organization.
No,
They're a
but
crime
what I
fighting
said is equally
organization.
true. People feel
it.
more threatened.
Yes, they feel it, but the facts don't
Fine.
support it.
As a political candidate, I'll go with how people feel, and I'll let you go with the theoreticians.
Wow,
What?
he was amazingly honest right there.
Right?
Wow.
Doesn't that like hurt your head?
Man, it makes me want to strangle his fat throat. Jesus.
That was so frustrating to
Yes.
watch. That was on Last Week Tonight. That's why you heard the laughter. But I saw it like on the actual news, and I'm like, is he saying these words? Like, you still go with the facts? Are you? I'll go with how people feel, and you stick with the theorists. He's calling the FBI's statistical facts like a theory.
Theory, maybe like in the way gravity's a theory.
Right. Don't get me
Man.
into that where people are like,
Yeah, it's just a theory.
In science, the people like, a lot of religious people will say, well, those are all theories. Well, theory is used a little differently in science.
Way differently. They should have come up with a different name. I blame scientists for that.
Yeah, they should have said, all right, this is the fact of gravity.
Right.
This is gravity.
Yes.
Bingo, shut up. How could I stay mad at him? When I feel bad about all the stuff that's going on, I just come back to this guy.
Nice.
Look at him. Look at this guy. I'm one of those annoying people. It's like my kid or something. Look at him. Oh, his ear went in my mouth. Get out of here. Now I don't like him anymore. Get out of here.
A face only a mother could love.
Right?
I kid.
No, he's beautiful. Takes after me. All right, so enough of that shit. Because we probably lost half of the 4 people that listen to the show.
Damn liberals.
Yeah. But again, like, I don't think a lot of that stuff is liberal or conservative. I just think that's
Common
not
sense.
smart to not do anything about mass shootings.
Yeah.
There has to be something. And I know that that's not a good way to bring up something and have no solution, but it's better than saying nothing can be done.
Right.
I believe something can be done. I don't know what.
I do have to commend them. They didn't do anything after Newtown when all those kids died.
Yeah.
And then they had that shooter come to the softball game. Do you remember that? A bunch of politicians had this league.
Oh, yeah.
And he shot a bunch of Republican politicians.
Right? Yeah. I
And
do
they
remember.
still didn't do anything. So even though
Some of their own were killed, still not enough. You have to hand it to them.
Right.
Yeah, they are sticklers for their stances on things.
Man. That's something I notice about Republicans too, or conservatives, is they don't really change their view on a position until it directly affects them.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney was very staunch anti-gay until his daughter came out as lesbian.
Right.
And then he grew a soft side for that. So that's my hope for everybody's, or for all Republicans, is that one of their kids comes out gay or
Gets shot by a gun.
Yes.
That's my hope. That's my
maybe
dream.
They can relate. Yes.
Similar to Martin Luther King's, I have a dream. But I have a dream that Republican senators... No, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to finish that.
We're on a list now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all microphones, like all drains lead to the sea. All microphones lead to the CIA.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Hey,
so we're just funneling in.
I'm going to ask you this real quick.
All right.
Since we're on that whole surveillance thing, there's this new theory coming out that our cell phones are listening to us all the time. And that we
Hasn't
can
that
talk
always
about...
been a theory?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
I think it's gaining traction now, where people talk about a certain product and all of a sudden the ad will show up.
Oh, yeah.
You believe it?
Well, I always just thought it was from your search history.
Yeah, but now they're saying it's from listening.
But where does it
specifically
pop
listening.
up? Just like in...
They're blaming Facebook right now. It shows
Yeah.
up in the Facebook news feed.
Well, I don't think they're... Well, who knows? I don't personally think they're listening on that. I just think somehow they're all connected online. I think Facebook shares... Or Google shares stuff with Facebook, or Amazon shares stuff. I think that's some of their the browsing history that they share.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, they got it.
Kind of like that net neutrality thing.
Ugh.
Isn't that what that is? No, what? No. It wants you to pay to use the internet.
Right.
That's what. Yeah.
Give most of the speed to the big companies that are paying.
Right. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm like, as long as they don't, sell my social security number and that stuff to people.
That already got taken with Equifax.
That's true. I'm sure I was the half that were in that breach. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they, share your browsing history and anything that's supported by ads, which is still kind of shitty, but
Now they.
I mean, there is some very. I think they're. I'm not a big a conspiracy theorist, but it is sometimes it is kind of creepy to see something like you literally the instant before you got on Facebook, you searched and now it's on there, and you're like,
that happens a lot. Yeah, I do believe that.
Sometimes it feels like almost like a not deja vu, but it almost feels like some kind of weird. I don't know what it almost feels like it's like a surreal thing.
For real.
Like I'm like, how did they? Like, I guess it feels like deja vu because I was like, maybe I searched for this before, and it wasn't just now that they got it, but it probably is instant. Yeah. Who knows?
Now Facebook in Australia is asking that you send them your nudes.
I saw that as a way to combat revenge porn.
Yeah.
I think that's just some pervy guy in a room just waiting for all the nudes to come in, and he's got like an industrial sized thing of lotion, tissues. And no, he doesn't have tissues. He's just jacking off on the monitors. Whatever. Code him down. Yeah, that just seems like a scam.
That's nuts.
But yeah, like, why would you? I mean, I get nervous when I get an email saying confirm your password for your iTunes. But if somebody send us your nudes so nothing bad happens, wink.
Right? Like you guys never get hacked.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Right. Even the cloud gets hacked.
Yeah.
Even people's personal things get hacked. So anyways, I was at the symposium yesterday.
Whoa.
Doesn't that sound fancy? It was a social studies symposium at Baylor. Baylor, where everyone gets raped.
Yes.
Where everyone gets raped. Is that too soon? It was actually at the Mayborn Museum, which is a really cool museum that's here in Waco. That's near the Evil Empire. But they're getting their just desserts, man. Their football team sucks this year.
Yeah, and then that documentary came out about their basketball team back in the day. That was awesome.
I know. I remember, was it 10 years ago when that guy got murdered they found his body, and was that what that was?
Yeah, Carlton Dotson.
Yeah. Holy Lord. He probably got raped too. No. Anyway, so I was over there, and it was almost like the social studies symposium at Baylor brought to you by Belton High School, because everybody.
Weird.
Like, this is very local right now. Like, if we were on a radio show, we would have done the weather and gone into local stories. This would be commercials for everyone else. But Belton is like a nearby, 30 minutes, I guess, away from here. Kind of a suburb of the city. And Belton, it's just a gross belt. Sounds like a belch.
Yes.
It just sounds like, I just feel like everyone stinks there.
It's a lesser city.
It is. It's true. They kind of ride our coattails. They don't have their own. It's not like they have their own Twin Peaks shooting to claim their claim to fame, or David Koresh, or
they do have their own Baylor though.
Mary Hardin Baylor's down there. That's right. Bingo! Shut up. Shut up. That was me punching him in his fucking cute face. We're almost done, buddy. Get out of here. So I was there. And I mean, it was just, I wanted to get out of school, and I knew that it was still going to be boring because it's just a big training thing.
Yeah.
And people just get up and tell you how, like, you should do things like they do it, and how it's better if you do. I'm like, oh, geez.
That's always receptive.
Right? Yeah. You're doing everything wrong. Here's how to do it right. Some of the stuff was pretty cool. They had this Breakout Box, I think is the name. I think that's the actual brand name, but it's like a reverse escape room. Where instead of like escaping the room, you have to break into the box.
Nice.
And you can, I mean, it's not just what you could use it for any subject really, but our social studies, and we did it with the Cold War. And so there's like a little box and a big box, and they have like 1 million locks on them. And some of them have letters, and some of them are numbers. Some of them are 5 digits, 4 digits. And you get like a bunch of clues. And it was pretty cool. Like there was a QR code that we had to scan, and we went and read this long document, and it, like, the word in the middle of the page was all in caps. And that was a code, that was the letters to open one of the letter locks, the ones with, and then there was like in that little box was a infrared or a black light, and then so on one of the documents in invisible ink there was Morse code, and then that ended up being some numbers, and that opened one of the other locks, and and then it's just candy in there, but
cool.
That was really cool. So
like KGB there for a little while.
Yeah. And we got to talk about the couple that got murdered. They got abducted and killed. The Randolph. I should know this. Those that American couple that got. I'll forget it. But that was cool. So I enjoyed that. But the other one was this one presentation that seemed to go on forever. And it was from this girl, and I was in a really bad mood that day. I was cranky, and I don't like people anyway. So I was just sitting there, just hating on this girl who's probably sweet, but she looked like she was like 3 cats away from being a cat lady, because she was just frumpy, and she had the curly hair, and her jeans were too tight, like way too tight, and she was fat and all this stuff, and she didn't I don't know, but
did you notice she's wearing a ring?
I'm going out with her tomorrow. That really gets me going. But that was just me being just a hateful person. And plus I was just frustrated about all the other stuff that was going on, just all the other boring stuff. Her presentation was, if you want to create a class, like a special elective class, how to get that through, like the paperwork and all this stuff. And the cheery topic of the class she created was history of the Holocaust and genocide.
Jesus.
The feel-good class of the year.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, well, I guess she's, maybe she's Jewish, and that's she didn't say, but she's really passionate about it. So
probably a Nazi sympathizer.
Probably. She teaches it very skewed, where the Nazis were misunderstood. And
there was no Holocaust.
Yeah,
what
right.
Are you guys
that's the whole thing. Just go in there. No Holocaust. Class dismissed. But so she's doing all this. I'm like, nobody cares. And she's one of those, like, this is a type of person I hate when they don't prepare when they're gonna present. And she was one that was, there's always one that doesn't know how to work the fucking technology.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry, I'm not a Mac person. I'm
not that different.
It's not really. And she just, and people had to, somebody else had to get up and help her. But I'm like, I don't need to hear you giggling and laughing. You're just not, you're failing. I don't need to hear how I can see that you don't have to tell me. Oh, I don't know. I'm like, fuck. So she finally gets that. She wants to show us a video. She had to make a video to sell it to the school board down there in Belton. And so she showed us. So all it is it's like a 4-minute video. It's just Google images that are floating up and down, and some writing in cursive and stuff. And it's I don't know what the song is. I don't think it's a Christian song, but at one point it's a girl singing, and at one point she says something about God, and this is the thing that got me. She paused it and said, "Yeah, we can do stuff like that because we don't get in trouble for talking about God at our school." She made a point to stop it and say that.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
We don't value separation from church and state at our school.
Well, nobody ever said you couldn't say God.
Right?
And whoever said you couldn't say that? I'm like, if a song is God, I'm like, really? Did you really have to stop it? And that's just like, I think even if I
sound like a real Kim Davis.
I have to believe that even somebody that like is very religious would be like, oh, that just seemed out of place. Like, why would you stop it there and say that?
Right.
Like, I mean, it's like people are upset when people have prayer in school when they force them to pray. I mean, that's right. Not hearing. I mean, I teach religion. I mean, I teach all about all the different religions in history. We're talking about God all the time, but it's different. And she was a social studies teacher. She should know that.
She probably believes in the fake war on Christmas,
right? It's like I heard a really good. Excuse me. I heard a really good. Not argument, but explanation. They did it with Black Lives Matter. Did you where they say Black Lives Matter and then the white people want to say, well, all lives matter.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like they're saying Merry Christmas, and then with Happy Holidays, well, we're saying we care about all the holidays. Yeah. Like you say that to the people, because the people that would say all lives matter say Merry Christmas, and we're just all holidays matter is what we're saying. Yes. Isn't that perfect? That was perfect. Awesome. Yeah. But the people, like I said on one of your videos, one of the SNL, the people that need to get that won't get it.
No.
They won't. They just will reject.
Right. Just shut it off.
Yeah. See what else? We keep going back to politics. That's what you bring that out in me. I was in a War of the Worlds radio play.
Oh, yeah?
You know that Brazos Theater?
Yeah.
It's awful. Only not when I'm in stuff. But it was the War of the Worlds, and I I was doing my best Trump. A dream job would be to be like a voice actor, I think, and all I did, and I was kind of annoyed at first. I didn't have any big parts, but I had a bunch of small parts, which was more fun because then I got to come up with different voices for each one, and they were like, I don't know, 1 or 2 paragraphs each character, so it was a lot. It wasn't just like one line, but I got to be an announcer, and I just did. It's just all copies of voices I hear on, like we were talking about. Not The Simpsons, but Futurama, and there was one. They have a standard voice announcer guy when they want to sound old timey, and there was one when they were having. There's episodes where they show like 3 different stories in one episode, kind of And it was an episode where it was kind of like an old I'm just rambling, fuck, like a newsreel, and it said. Tune in next week for more tales of interest. So that was my announcer voice. Nice. Like, I just had to do the weather because, like, the War of the Worlds, you know that whole thing, like,
I know enough, yeah.
Where it was a radio broadcast and it was about aliens coming down and people heard it and they thought it was real and stuff. And that's actually more exaggerated. It really wasn't that much panic, but people did. There were some people that heard it, and then, I have other things. I'm more
take medication over here.
No, I'm getting messages on my Apple Watch.
Technology.
I love technology, but not
Team Droid though.
Get out!
Shots fired.
Get out! So I did that for. It was just like a guy. I had to read the weather. So the beginning of it, he's just supposed to set the scene for just a normal night on the radio, and then I had to do a state trooper, and I just did Wiggum's voice because that's the only cop. Nice. So and it's come to my attention that the counties of Middlesex and Jonesboro. So I did that, and then I wanted to do a Mr. Burns voice because I can kind of do that, but there was a captain that was like fighting, and I was like, nah. A captain, like an old like Navy captain or something, or our Air Force captain, he'd sound like more haggard and deeper. Like Mr. Burns is real frail and old. Yeah. So I did his name was Captain Lansing of the 43rd Battalion. So that was that. And then I had to do it Zap Brannigan because I love his voice. And one of the later, he was like an operator, like in an airplane. And, I did this, like a Zap Brannigan voice, like a real pompous, I forget the line, some of the line, but we're not making any, we're not making any progress, sir. They seem to be, that's too much for our, so.
How'd you get involved with this? I didn't know you were.
Well, a guy at school, him and his wife, like his wife was really into it, and then he started going to improv. Sweet. He started being in improv, and he was always trying to get me to, and I hate improv. Like, yes. I think we've talked about that before. Even Whose Line Is It Anyway? It wasn't always the best. I mean,
it's hard, yeah.
And these, when he and his wife were in it, it was better. And I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with him, but there was one time we went, and it's like $15 to get in, and it's mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. It sucks at best.
You're supporting the local arts,
I guess. But the thing I was in was great. But it was written, so, he's hard to mess up Orson Welles or whatever, Yeah. But, I was just kind of they just needed an extra person, and he was telling me, the guy at school that I know, he's actually been on this show, Yasko, the Astros fan. I know you're not into sports that much, but fuck the Astros. He would say fuck the Rangers if the Rangers were in it. So
he was an Astro fan before the World Series?
He was, yeah, he was born in Houston, so.
Nice.
And, yeah, he's been an Astro fan through the sucky years and everything, so I guess it's okay. But still, fuck the Astros.
I'm glad you're not one of those people that just wanted to root for them because they're from Texas.
That was one of my big ass big ass. That was one of my big gripes. Is people like, oh, just go from there from Texas. Fuck no.
Yeah, you think a Yankee fan would go for the Mets?
That was my argument. You're in my head. That's the exact argument I made. Are you listening to me? Are you listening on these? It's you. That's how
they send it to me.
Yeah, right. Somehow. Well, we'll send it to Dustin. He knows what to do with it. But yeah, I was like, you think the Yankees are going to root for the heck no. They're like, if it's New York, this is us.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I just can't. And people,
And then some people are rooting for them because of the flood. Fuck that. Who cares about the hurricane?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not wishing that they die. I'm not wishing that another hurricane hits them. I'm rooting against them because it's sports.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the,
And another hurricane will hit them, so.
Right. So to win, it's, I'll get a win out of this eventually. No, okay.
I'll get my revenge.
Sweep away the Astros, and it'll be good. And their history. And we'll just pretend like they never won the World Series.
In Joe Osteen's church.
Oh, yeah. What a jerk. He wouldn't even open up until the backlash.
Right.
But they said, he was in a flood-prone area.
That's another thing where his supporters just backed him up, turned their blinders on, didn't care about anything.
Yeah. We're back to politics again,
It was kind of religion.
Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're both made up. They're both not, no, I guess religion. I guess politics is more factual sometimes. Well, not now.
Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, right. It's what I feel. What are you, What are you, a hippie?
But he's smart because you get the people on the feelings, they'll vote for you.
Yeah. That's why they have that saying, all in your feelings.
Yeah.
Because it's very motivated. It's a great motivator. But I told her, she's like, hey, you want to keep doing stuff? Because we put on a Christmas radio play, too. I'm like, yeah.
Awesome.
I'll do more voices. It was really fun.
Sweet.
And people were like, man, good job on the voices.
I like
Good point about titties.
I think we'll have to collaborate on something.
Wink. Well, that's why I jumped at your thing.
Yeah.
At your dick. That's why I jumped on your dick. Yeah, because I could...
I'm thinking Dr. Alderton with Mr. Burns' voice.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you were saying, all the ones that nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And nobody on this show would ever go listen to yours because I don't, Well, that's the thing we could talk about. You got your own fucking network now. You stole all my ideas, and now you're making money off of it, you bitch.
I hadn't made any money yet.
What? You're not making anybody pay?
I'm making them pay. I just don't have enough people paying to cover the overhead.
Oh, okay. Because I guess all that money is just going straight back into, like, the bills and stuff.
Rent. And,
Dustin has got a fucking studio now, and...
Thanks to this guy over here.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on here once or twice that you were going to... Yeah, I helped him...
pick everything out and set everything up, and...
And then I kind of went away. I was almost... For a while, I was like, I'll just be your engineer and do everything, and then I just kind of faded out. Did you ever get the headphones working again? I never even came by and fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of said, I'll come by. And
they're weird. I think it is something to do with the XLR cables or...
Wait, the microphones or the headphones?
Well, I don't know if the microphones aren't working, so it's not coming through the headphones, but it'll happen every once in a while, and then it'll magically fix itself. So I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I know that before we were talking, we thought there was some short somewhere,
right?
But it could be. I mean, maybe there could be a short in the actual headphone cable in some of them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, no offense, those were pretty cheap.
I did go for the cheapos.
Yeah.
3 for $60.
I know. I mean, you got to go eventually. Like when you start making money, you got to get these cans. You got to get the Sonys.
Nice little
the
plug
metal. There. They last forever. And the AirPads are kind of cheaply made, but they're really cheap to replace.
Nice.
But yeah,
I didn't know you could replace those. I had some similar at the house, and the AirPads fell apart, so I just threw them away.
Like a third-party retailer makes them. You can get them from Sony, but it's like way too expensive. But if you get them from them, they just pop back on. And then they're metal, and they just, I don't know, they just last forever.
For real.
So, and they're not. I mean, they're more expensive than 3 for $60, but I mean,
yeah,
you get what you pay for. You could gradually.
Right.
Like for the producer, you could get them, and then roll them out, to everyone else. I just like them because they're flat. They don't distort anything.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly because I used to get annoyed because again I'm a dork. I told you this mic I got because Kid Craddock had this microphone, but like I'd read the reviews about these, like even in the very beginning. Well, I always read reviews anyway, and people were saying, "Oh, there's no bass," because everyone's about beats now and stuff.
Yeah.
And the manufacturer, Sony, actual, like the seller would say, "Look, these aren't for music. I mean, they're flat. There's no bass. It's to monitor things. Like when you're mixing music, you don't want it to be. You want to hear how much bass you're actually putting in it. So it's got to be completely flat. You don't want them bassy already,
right?
Because then you can't hear what the track really has.
Kevin Bassy.
Oh Lord, man! Everyone, why is everyone a fucking pervert?
Right?
I like Kevin Spacey. I like a lot of his movies, and now he's he's a faggot who bangs kids. No, that's not a big. Everyone knew he was gay. He was. I mean, people speculated that forever. That's not the thing, but 14-year-old, come on, man.
Yeah. And that was a terrible time to come out of the closet too.
Well, a lot of the gay community is like, no, look, don't try to mask, like cover that up and say, oh, yeah, maybe that happened. I don't. And he didn't even deny it. He's like, well, maybe I did.
Right. It was over 30 years ago. Who knows?
Who knows? And yeah,
that's guilty.
Right. And he's like, oh, by the way, I'm gay.
And enough people think that gay people are pedophiles. You don't need to.
I never. That's so weird too, because and I'm not just saying that. I mean, you're not gay, so I'm not. Obviously not trying to score any points, but I never thought that.
Right.
I never used to think that they were
two different things.
They were either. Well, I never thought they were pedophiles, and I never thought they were like fucking everything either.
Right.
Like they always say
Sexual
that they're
deviance.
sexual aggressive and they just have sex all the time. And I mean, I'm sure there's some gay people that probably do have a higher sex drive than others, but it's just like heterosexual. Some people have higher sex drives than others, and some straight people are sluts and man whores and things. So it's not
right. The latest is Louis C.K.
I know. And Tig Notaro, where he jacked off in front of her.
That's a real awkward situation because she has a show where he's
the
executive
producer. Yeah. I mean, surely
show.
I mean, Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. She wouldn't work with him, and just because she really wanted the show,
right? And
just forget about that. Unless I don't know. I mean, maybe she thought, if it is true, I don't think it can't be. Not Louis.
I don't know, man.
I mean, he's so many people. What
I've said, or 5 have said it so far, and I've heard it for
that
a
he's
while
like that.
now.
That he will jack off in front of you or something.
That is so weird. Like him and Harvey Weinstein. That is so weird. That Harvey wanted the girls to watch him shower. Wouldn't you much rather watch them shower?
Right. Yeah.
Or
watch me shower. Yeah.
Them play with themselves instead of you playing with yourself in front of them. That's.
I know. If you're gonna be that way, then be it the right way. Right. If you're gonna be wrong the right way.
Yes.
Yeah. Or why not even just say let's have sex?
Yeah.
What happened to people when they wanted to get somewhere? They just said, okay, you have to have sex with me,
or bang a groupie.
Yeah, but no, I'm gonna show you my dick or jack off in a plant.
That's so weird.
Or what?
So weird.
Or watch me take a shower, guys. I mean, I think even as women. Guys, a guy taking a shower is not. It's not. A woman in the shower is even for a woman, she's got to admit that a woman in the shower is way more sexy,
right?
Just on face value,
Watch me take a shower.
No, Harvey Weinstein, he's just gross anyway.
That's crazy how so many people Seth MacFarlane have called out in the past are coming back.
That's true. It's kind of, yeah. How many more open secrets does he know?
For real. And then you got Corey Feldman, on the other hand, asking for $10 million before he'll spill his beans.
That's kind of, yeah.
Seth MacFarlane's giving them away for free.
Right. If you really want to help, that's, I understand he's probably low on funds, but.
Yeah. He's trying to cover himself legally, but, if you're telling the truth.
Look at Rose McGowan. She just fucking said it.
Right.
She didn't look for any, she's kind of
And she don't have any money left.
Yeah, I know. She's kind of torpedoed her career with that.
Yeah,
that's I'm not saying that she shouldn't have, but if it's important enough to you, then you'll just come out and say it.
Right.
You'll just say because it's the right thing to do, or you need to, Man, Rose McGowan is attractive.
Yes, I remember.
Remember, I couldn't believe she was dating Marilyn Manson.
That was weird.
I was like, come on.
He's been in the news a lot lately too, or doing interviews and stuff.
Yes,
I guess trying to be relevant again.
Oh,
Did
he change his name?
He looks like a woman now. He's like an old woman.
He always reminded me of like a clone, right when they come out of the thing. I know he has hair, but the pale. He doesn't have any eyebrows, I think. Right.
For a long time, he was wearing those weird eye contact.
Yeah. So it's always like somebody that just came out of the pod, and he's like learning. They learn how to walk or whatever. I hope cloning gets to that one day where you can just clone your exact, like a 33. Like if I got a clone, it would be a 33 version. It would be me. I don't want this cloning where it's like a baby me.
Right.
That's got to. No, that's not science fiction. That's not science. And people are like, no, that's how it is. That's fact.
I want a replicator, not a cloning machine. Then.
Exactly. Change the wording. Yeah, I want a Xerox, a human Xerox. What else? Gonna wrap it up? We're about an hour here.
All right, yeah. I will tell you, I did drive off the other day with the gas pump still in my car.
What a douche.
Yeah. But
why did you do that?
I was pumping gas. I got a phone call, so I hopped back in the cab to talk on the phone.
Well, I'm glad you weren't talking on the phone right beside the pump.
Right, didn't want to blow up.
Yeah.
And then when I got the phone, I was just like, let's go. So I will say, I don't know how people make it like miles away from the gas station with that thing still hanging off, because that made a loud noise. I noticed it right off the bat.
So you ripped the nozzle off.
Luckily, it was one of those ones that are built to break away in case that happens. They started making.
So is the hose on there too, or is it just the?
Yeah, it's the hose and the nozzle. It's about 6 foot of the hose attached.
I get embarrassed when I just leave the gas cap off, but you had the whole thing hanging out.
Hey, they were really cool about it, though. Shout out to 7-Eleven for not giving me a hard time or charging me anything.
Oh, I guess you just go like reattach it.
I heard they they said they just had to put in a work order and somebody would come in and do it. But I'd always heard that there was like a fine or a fee for doing that.
They're probably like, it happens all the time.
Now I want to do it again so I can keep it or drive around with it for a while.
See, did anybody say anything to you? Did anybody honk or?
No, I noticed it so quick. I backed right up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do it again, but then
just take off
and keep doing. Leave it until somebody like says something to you.
I'm like, what?
I know, but the whole like never understand what they're saying when they're trying to tell you. What? Or like never roll your window down if they're like trying to tell you as you're
flipping them off.
Yeah. Just go the opposite. That'd be that's almost like a good study in human behavior. Like, would they tell you? Right. If or would they just let you look stupid and
you'd probably get mad when you like screw that guy. You can leave it on there.
Yeah, right. If he's dumb enough to drive off with it. Yeah.
Man, an hour already?
That's pretty dumb.
Flies.
Doesn't it? Really? It didn't fly for me. I don't know what show you were listening to. Anything else? We think that's. I don't want to get too much into. We did talk a lot about politics. The show didn't used to be that way, but then again, Donald Trump didn't always used to be president either. So
on that note, just real quick, I hate people that say, "Oh, we suffered 8 years of Obama. You can suffer for 8 of Trump."
Yeah, I know. Really? Did we really suffer?
Yeah, I didn't go to bed under Obama wondering if I'd wake up to a nuclear holocaust.
Right.
You don't know about this guy.
And they'll just say that that's sensationalism, or they're just exaggerating. No, he is not good.
Yeah.
He's not good.
I saw this interview with I don't know who the guy was, but he said that Trump could, effectively end the world within 30 minutes by hitting those nuke buttons, and nobody can stop him. So now they're trying to introduce legislation. They didn't try that when Obama was president.
It's going to be called the Trump.
The Trump Act.
The Trump Act, where we're like, okay, if he's having a fit, if he's having a bad day.
You got to get Congress approval before you can hit those buttons.
Yeah, if they're making legislation to try to prevent him from having a temper tantrum and launching some nukes, then there's a problem.
Yes.
We've never had to do that ever.
Right.
And we lived through the Cold War.
Right.
We lived through, the Soviets,
the Bay of Pigs. And all that.
And never had to make that law. That's kind of like it's almost like one of those laws. It's not fixing the problem. It's almost like, okay, well, you're late all the time, so I'm just going to make you get here, or I'm going to change your schedule and make you here earlier.
Yeah.
So you should get here on time.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of like fixing the problem and saying either getting rid of him or something else, well, we'll just make it harder for him to do it.
Because who knows? I mean, with all this Russia stuff going out, maybe he knows that he's about to go to jail, or maybe he knows he's about to be impeached. So why not just end it all?
I'm taking all y'all with me.
Yeah.
That's scary, yeah.
Scary thought.
Because he's a fucking narcissistic bastard, so
for real.
He wouldn't
put
care.
it past him.
Yeah. Wow. Ugh. That's
Let's
crazy.
end it on a high note.
Yeah, right? Let's, with hope and good thoughts for the future. But thankfully, it would be quick, I think, if that was the case.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just listen to the I don't even know what that is. It sounds like a synthesizer. I never really listened to the music because I heard it so many times.
Yeah.
I only really listened to it when the guy made it for me. I'm like, that sounds good.
Nice.
But I think if I had to listen to this as long as the listeners do, I probably would go crazy. It's just a loop forever.
Solitary confinement.
You ever watch The Walking Dead?
No.
Oh. Wasn't that one of your controversial things the other day? The Walking Dead stupid? I want it to be over. Like, I want closure. I'm like, okay, I invested. Now either kill everybody or solve it.
Yes.
I'm ready for,
I like shows like that, like Breaking Bad. They had an end in sight.
Yeah. I don't know. It's on season 8. Maybe let's wrap it up by 10. 10's a good number for any show.
8 already? Wow.
Yeah, this is the season 8.
Do they do 2 a year, or is that it's been 8 years?
It's halves. No, it's full years. They only do like 15 episodes, but it's 7 in the fall, and then they go on a break, and then they come back in February.
Wow.
So it almost does seem like 2 different seasons because you have to wait like 2 months to see the end of it. So
it is a phenomenon. I'll give them that.
Even still, it's still kind of going strong. I know there's other shows that are right up there with it. I don't know if beating it, but anyway, there's an episode where they had Daryl and Norman Reedus in a cell, and they just played this peppy song, this real bubblegummy, just over and over and over. And I mean, I know that is a tactic of torture where I think they did it with David Koresh, bringing it back to Waco, where they played "These Boots Are Made for Walking" or whatever during the what was it, Mount Carmel Branch Davidian thing. Anyway, you want to plug? Why don't you plug your fucking thing?
Yeah, we got the Waco show coming up, man.
No, what's your Radio Waco is what I was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry, iRadio Waco.
iRadio Waco. It's a whole network of shows.
Yeah. Which
will feature this show eventually when I move back out of this place and I can't have a studio for a little bit.
Bazinga.
Why ruin it with Big Bang Theory? God damn it. I have arguments daily. Not daily, but it feels like daily about that show. People like, it's just funny. Or, it's the smartest show on TV. Do not tell me it's the smartest show on TV. That's not. No, it's not. Yeah, the words are big and there's science jargon and stuff, but it's the smartest show on TV means it's written clever.
Right.
The jokes are delivered in a clever way.
Yeah.
The storylines are clever. Anyway, I'm going to run out of loop here. So iRadio Waco, there's a bunch of shows on there.
Yeah, check it out.
And then you haven't had a show yet. This
right.
is gonna be this Waco show is your show. You've just been producing all the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, check that out. And don't you don't do Twitter, do you?
No, I keep trying to get into it, but I can't.
Well, I mean, you post a lot of funny stuff as your status on Facebook, so you could easily do that on Twitter and then get a lot of followers that way.
Now there's more characters.
280 now. They doubled it. Boom. Yeah. Anyway, we do have all that stuff, but we're not active. We don't even do shows, so you can subscribe to all our social media, but you'll get even less content than the actual show because we don't do that. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Dustin. Catch you guys next time on the Weekly Egg. Goodbye.
That was awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Weekly Yak.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Check us out at weeklyyak.com. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Lighthouses rule.
And subscribe to us on iTunes.
Keep looking up, because that's where it all is.